Hey guys, welcome back to the shop. We have a badass little 2024 Lotus Emira here, and we're gonna do some brake pads on it. All right, this is my buddy Howard. He is the proud owner of this thing, and this is what we're gonna be putting on here.
Yeah, so I'm taking the car to VIR, doing the grand course, which is the same thing as the lightning lap if you watch or see those issues of Car and Driver magazine. From what I've read online, it seems like the stock pads, which are pretty good, but they really don't hold up for hard braking on the track and the temperatures, everything. The stock pads are Ferrotos, and we're going to be put on these EBC racing brakes, RP1s. The number is DP8042RP1, and they are from our friend who's another Aaron at totalbrakes.com.
Yes, Aaron Elsner, shout out to him for supplying us the brakes. So we're gonna go ahead and show you guys how to change the brake pads on one of these.
Don't tell me it went there and it's not there. I'll be really irritated.
That's probably where that's supposed to be. Is that an extra? Oh, that's the pump. All right, so in our little toolbox, we're gonna need the little tool to undo the locking bolts on this thing. So preventative measure so people don't steal your stuff. That's a crazy shape down there. Looks like a really cool, fun racetrack. The car on the ground, the first thing we're gonna do is loosen all the lug bolts. If you have the locking key thingy, that's what this thing looks like. So you just put it inside your regular socket. It can be found possibly in your glove box or in the trunk in the little travel kit that has your pump and your tow hook. But yeah, you're gonna need these. The first thing I do is I take these things out and I throw them away and I buy 4 standard lug nuts because I can't stand working with these things. But your car probably has one, so find this and use it. If you've never seen one before, you just put it on here. You have to fiddle around until it drops into place, and then just use a breaker bar and loosen it, and then you can get rid of that thing and just loosen the other 4. These are all 17 millimeter. I'll put a link to one of these in the description. I like to use this, they're right on Amazon, but they have this like plastic coating on the outside so it doesn't scratch up your wheels. Yes, it could if you had just a fully metal one.
Righty tighty, lefty loosey.
Lefty loosey. So just loosen that guy up. And then that's enough. We can take them off once it's in the air. We just got to get them loose now while the car is giving us some resistance sitting on the ground. All right, it is airborne. We have it on the 2-post lift. So while it's up here, just wanted to show you guys underneath this car. Talk about aerodynamics. That is about as flat as it gets. And wanted to show you the jacking points. Lotus makes it super obvious where to jack it from with big blue stickers pointing to these little aluminum pieces that are right here. There's 2 in the front, 2 in the rear, and they made it a lot easier than my Series 1 Elise by making it so you don't have to take off the panel to get to the jacking points.
You won't be able to see the sticker from underneath the car, but just look for the ridges on this, and it's pretty evident that this is the piece you want to place your jack under.
Yep, so just lift right under there, and if you need to do any work down here, you have about 12 trillion bolts to remove. So you can see right here, they got a little air intake to pull some air into the rear of the engine so that it can cool it off a little bit. And a beautiful little diffuser down here. Okay, we have this thing, wheels off, up on the lift, so just so we can get easier access. If it's on the ground, same job, you just have to do more bending. So these are super easy. You'll see 2 little pins right here. That's the outside of the pin. So we're just gonna take a really small punch and a hammer, and we're gonna knock them out. So my Porsche ones, they always have like a little pin that's on the inside that you have to remove, but these do not. You just knock them straight out. I'll show you on the other end of them what keeps them in place. And as you're tapping them out, the spring on the inside, let me show you what that spring looks like. This big metal piece in the middle acts as a spring.
And the arrow goes, we believe, in the rotation of the wheels, because the arrow points the opposite way on the rear wheels, which are in the other side. Anyway, we'll confirm that. But these are AP Racing brakes, so it's pretty simple. There's your spring comes out.
Yeah. So you
Again, the arrow goes the rotation of your wheel and rotor.
All right, so at the end of this pin, it kind of has this, what do you call that thing?
Like a retaining,
yes,
retaining
clip kind of
clip,
thing,
spring,
or,
whatever.
It's like kind of spring loaded.
That's what keeps it in place.
Yep. All right, so we just have to knock out the bottom one now, so you can see that from over here. And without that spring in it, this one will be pretty easy. All right, pin just pops out.
That's right up.
Like that.
And again, when you put it back in, remember the small end comes this way.
All right, so now to get the pads out, you're gonna have to push the pistons back into the calipers a little bit. The easiest way to do that is with something like this, some channel locks, so that you can just grab this tab on the brake pad, the other end against your caliper, and squeeze it together, but you obviously don't want to mar up your pretty caliper, so I always use some tape on the ends of these and a towel as well, just to protect the surface. Give it a little squeeze. You can see it came in just a little bit.
And then we'll do the same on the outside one, or inboard one actually.
Let me reach over you. All right, and we'll squeeze this one too. Now, sometimes when you squeeze one side in, the other side comes out a little bit. So
we may have to do this again.
yeah, you might have to do the other side after you put the new one in, because the new one's going to be thicker and hold it out there. But after you do that, it's this easy.
Right
Pull
out.
them straight out. So
You got both of them?
I just got one. So the stock ones are AP Racing 586, and these have how many miles? 1,700.
About 1,700.
All right.
EBC brakes, RP1, and you can see even after just 1,700 miles, there's a little bit of a difference in pad. Not much, but a little bit. Kind of hard to tell that.
Yep. All right, so we got these at Total Brakes, so go check out totalbrakes.com and order your
This
brakes.
AP Racing, it's also it's a Ferodo brake pad. We've got the number which we'll put in the video. Oh, you never, this thing didn't come out? Oh, it's got pushed back. I was like, where is it? I was like, it's not in there.
All right. So after you take the old ones out, put the new ones back in the same way. Make sure that the pad part is against your rotor. And if you got the pistons pushed in enough, you should be able to get that in. It should be a really tight fit because they are brand new. But let's give that a little whack and it'll be in there.
Again, we're going to line it up so that our pin can come back through.
They're pretty. They even color match your calipers. Very important.
For now. This one's we're gonna need to pull this back in because we don't have quite enough clearance. It's real close, but
Yep, so now that we have this one in holding those pistons from coming loose, we can go ahead and put our,
we're gonna
this thing is, put the old
put
one
our
back in.
old
Put it
smaller,
around there.
old smaller. Okay, we had to squeeze our pistons back in. We just couldn't quite put this fat pad in there, but now we've got it back out. I'm gonna push this in, line it up with the holes. Go back. We'll put in this. We'll put in the front pin in first. Make sure our pad is the right. Spring. We tap this in to start. Then we got our spring. Again, it goes like so with the arrow pointing in the direction of the rotation. Now we need to hold this back part down
Yeah,
so
this
we
is
can
the
get
only,
the next pin in.
this is the only manually somewhat difficult piece. So you have to apply pressure on the spring.
Once you get it started, You need to push, make sure it gets in the hole, and then then the hammer will get it the rest of the way. What we're using here is another small sort of a punch-like thing, because the hammer, you can't tell from the backside, the hammer will not go flat. So we need something small here that'll fit in to punch the pin all the way in. When the pin is fully seated, you can see it right inside here. We'll show you what it looks like now. It's not seated. And I'll take a few taps here, because you don't want to mess up, knock the paint off your caliper if you can avoid it. If you look at this one, it's almost seated there. Probably needs one more tap, but we're going to go up and do the top one. And if you can see that. Well, that's good.
All right.
Again, if you want to film this to the backside, the reason you need a punch is because there's a little indentation, so a hammer won't go flat on that. So you need a little punch to get that in all the way.
All right, so that's the front. Now we'll go knock out the back. All right, the only real difference on the rear brakes is your arrow is pointing down because it's on this side, and access to the back is a little more difficult. You don't have much clearance here to swing a hammer or do something. So when we go back to put them in, we'll show you what we did.
Play, you know, watch out for this this line coming down here, but you can get your hammer back in there. Wait. A couple of taps in. Okay. And then we'll show you what our solution is.
This is what we rigged up here.
We have a screw with some pliers. And we're going to place the pliers on the end of the pin, turn our hammer sideways, because we just don't have much room to work here. And that works like a charm. Is that good? One more?
Yeah, one more whack. There, all the way seated. Beautiful.
All good?
Yep.
Okay. One more pin.
All right, brake job complete. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and you'll see some more Lotus content later on. Beautiful. Safe travels. Go bed in those brakes hard.
Thanks so much, man. Appreciate it.
Yep, see ya.